Hi, this is the first episode of Gamifying Life series when I will be designing games to solve different problems and just make life activities more fun and enjoyable. Today I will design 52 book challenge game, which is about reading 52 books in 52 weeks. Best case scenario, after playing and during playing this game, you will read more interesting stuff, as the game will motivate you to read more pages every day and have more fun because of the gamification provided by this game. Worst case scenario, you will learn something new and it maybe can spark some ideas how you can better design your life, as this approach that I will present you is not very well known. This will be a spreadsheet game, which maybe you never encountered. So this is the game to be played on Google Spreadsheet, and I selected this approach because creating game for spreadsheet is a matter of hours, not days, weeks or months, which is important because the first version of games from my experience almost never works. You need to have several iterations to find a sweet spot in the game design that will generate motivation to do some desired action, so the game has some goal and you need to reach this goal. So spreadsheets are great for initial versions of games. So now quick look at what was implemented in the version 1 of the game. This is still quite early stage and there is a lot of room for improvement both in the visual layer but even more importantly in the design layer. So here you can see the bookshelf sheet that shows books that were finished by the player, and there are 52 spots to be filled. Books list are set in the book list sheet, and there is a start date, finish date. Each of the book have a difficulty layer, which is important to get a bonus, experience bonus for finishing them, as the game have a leveling system. You gain experience for finishing books, but also for reading pages every day, and the more pages you read, the more experience you get. So that's the overview what was implemented, and you will see how I implemented it from scratch in the later part of the video. So you can just follow the steps I did if you want to have something like that, or you can just read the description in the video if you want to have a copy of this template. So enjoy the rest part of the video, and if you find this approach interesting, consider subscribing this channel, as I plan to create similar games, not only for spreadsheet but using all other tools or even software in the future. Okay, so let me start a new game. So I open blank spreadsheet and give it a proper name, 52 book challenge game version 1.0, and the first sheet will be book list, so the list of all books that was read during this challenge, and of course I need to once again read the name of the sheet, book list, book book challenge game version 1.0, and the first column will be number that will contain the number of the book, so it will be 52, I guess, yes. I will mark it the end of this section. The second column will be the title of the book. Third will be start date. Next will be finish date. Then there will be difficulty, how the book is difficult to read, so it would be like something easy, some novel like Harry Potter, or it can be something much more difficult like some math book. And there will be also bonus for finishing. So once the book is finished, there will be additional experience bonus that will allow level up the player. This will be implemented later. So let me bold this, and for testing let me create the first title, for example, thinking fast and slow, and start day will be today, but I will copy it and paste it to paste the number. Finish date is not finished, and there will be 3 types of difficulty. I will make the difficulty of this book as medium, so there will be 3 types of difficulty: easy, medium and hard. I will make this medium, but I will set it as a drop down list, so medium will be this, but I will also add easy label marked as green, and also hard label for hard books and mark it as red. So this is medium, but could be hard, but I will set it as medium. And there will be also bonus for finishing, which will be based on the difficulty level. So let me create a new sheet that will contain constants of the game. And now I will create 4 constants. First will be the game start date, and the game start date will be today, but yes, I need to remove the formula and paste the value of this. So now it's the date, 15th of August. And there will be also additionally 3 constants that will mark how much experience will be given for finishing the book. So this will be easy, medium, hard, and let's say this is 200 experience points, 400 experience points, and 600 experience points. And now this needs to be properly mapped, so I will use file lookup formula, and this will be based on so the first item is search key, which is the difficulty. Then there will be a range which is based on this range. Then there will be index. Index is what should be presented in the output, and the second column should be presented, and then the last parameter, which is about sorting, this is irrelevant. So now it's implemented. So when I will change to easy, there will be less points for finishing. For hard will be more points for finishing. And let me extend this to until the end. But in order for this to work, I need to make it as follows, but there is error because I need to mark those ranges. I believe something like that, so they need to be fixed. Let me check now if this will work. Yes, it seems to work correctly right now. Yes, and other titles will be added for later. I think this is almost the end, but I also want to mark column as green when the book was finished. So for example, let me add additional title, let's say Lord of the Rings, and this will be, for example, 10, 15, 24. But let's say that the book was finished, let's say in 1 month. Let's say in 2 months. But if I put the finish date, then I would like to mark this whole row as green, to mark that the book was finished. So this is possible to do by setting conditional formatting, which needs to be a custom formula. So if I believe D2 is not empty or is date, D2 is date, I don't remember what I need to put it here. Let me ask intelligence. So in Google Spreadsheets, how to check if the text is a date, is date. So I need to check is date D2, yes, D2, and if it's is date, then mark it as green. Yes, but not this is not what I wanted, because I would like to mark the whole column as green. Let me check if this is possible. So after some investigation, I understand what is the problem. I need to put, if I remember correctly, $sign here in order for this to work. So if the finish date is provided, then the row is as green, and if not, then it's without color. And I need to apply this formatting everywhere. So for example, if I will put here some date, let's say this one, I also should see the conditional rules applied here. So this can be achieved by simply selecting the proper range as follows. And here we have the whole thing for book list implemented right now. So it's time to create the main view. So I will create a new sheet which is called main. Okay, so in the first column there will be a date. In the second column there will be number of pages read given day, and in the third column there will be a number of points received for a given day. Points. Let me mark it as make it bold. And the first date will be equal to the start date of the game, which is this one, and this one, and the other dates will be equal increased by one. So for example, the first day is 15th of August, and all other days will be one day later, and this whole thing until the 365 days. Once again, 65 days plus 1, because the first row is about days, so this will be the last day of the game. I will mark the end of the section here, and number of pages read, so I will just set to 0. Yes, and the third column will be points of experience, but I will leave it for later when I will be computing those points. There will be a special formula. For now, I would like to mark days that already happened in a special using special formatting, so conditional formatting. So this will be applied to the whole range here. Okay. And if date is before today, I would like to cross the date without any formatting style. Done. And because nothing is before the day, I need to tweak it and check. For example, if I put that today is 21st, then I would the date is before. Other direction, I need to put it yes, this way. Yes, and this works properly. So let me now revert to today. And I would like to also highlight the current date to show clearly where the player needs to assign the number of pages that he read given day. So I will add additional conditional formatting for this rows, at additional rule, and mark I would like to put row as green if date is today. But once again, this should be done using custom formula. So is date A2, but once again with this exactly, but not is date, but using different function. Progress spreadsheet if the date is before today. This way I believe. Copy and paste is today, or this way. but once again using this check, rather equal to today, and there is still something wrong because it should start with 2, yes, and now it's everything seems to work correctly. So now I will jump to constants and do some math. So first row is days in year, which will be 365. Then what I want to add is the average number of pages in book, and let's say this is 350. This can be adjusted, and the difficulty of the game will change based on this number. And number of books is 52. So number of pages to read during this challenge. Number of pages to read, estimated number of pages. Number of pages to read is this times number of books, which is more than 18,000. So the number of pages required, preferred number of pages to read daily is equal to number of pages in the whole year divided by number of days in year. So it's close to 50 pages. But I would like to also round this number to have it in a really possible number of pages read. So I add round function, so it's rounded to 50 pages. And when I will add additional multiplier for hitting preferred number of pages, and let's say this will be 1.5. So now what I will do is to compute number of points for reading pages. So I realize that I made a mistake. This needs to be with dot in order for this to work. And now it's time to compute experience points per pages, and this will be computed as the following formula. So if number of pages is more or equal than preferred number of pages, then return multiplier times number of pages. Otherwise, just return the number of points equal to number of pages read, this way. But I need to guard those variables, so they won't be automatically shifted when I will apply these rules to all days. So now it should work correctly. So for example, let's say I read 35, it's 35, but if I did 50, then the multiplier is applied. Yes, everything seems to work as I would expect. So now what I would like to compute is the experience collected the full whole experience collected by the player, or rather points, total points, and this will be equal to sum of all days from the beginning. Let's check. So 50. Yes. So this part works, but there is also additional part that is the sum of bonus for finishing. This is sum of all of them, but of course it's not computed correctly because those books are not finished, so this needs to there needs to be additional check if so 0 will be returned if the finish date so is date no, not this one, here is date, this one, then yes, so if the finish date is date, then return number of points computed by VLOOKUP, otherwise return 0, and I think this should work correctly, so I will extend these rules till the end, and let me check if I will copy start date to here to finish date. Yes, it seems to work correctly. So now the number of points is 0, but let's say that I read 100 pages, and for example, once again, I read the book, so there should be 400 plus 150. Everything seems to work correctly. Yes, so let me move back to the end. Now let me move to implement player levels. So I will paste the following table. So there will be a player and there will be 3 columns, the level name, starting with illiterate, reader noob, weak reader, up to legendary reader and read everything. And each of the levels requires specific number of points, which is close to be equivalent to number of pages read, but there are additional rules that we implemented earlier. So this is how it looks like. I will move this part down and this part up. What now I would like to implement is to show which level currently player has. So this part should be marked as green, so I will add a new rule for the whole section. It will be custom formula, and it will be equal. There will be 2 conditions that will need to be met. So then requires part which is G4 needs to be higher or equal than number of total points, which is this part F20, and the next one, this one G5 in this case, G5 needs to be smaller than F20. I think the opposite should be the case, but obviously the signs are in wrong order, so it should be this, and it should be greater, and I think this should work. Yes, it works. Yes, so let's say for checking if it works correctly, say set some very high number, 100 pages. Yes, and we have 1050 points, and we move to Goodreader immediately, so it works correctly. So for now I am content with this part. I will now quickly add additional column, which is statistics. Let me move this part here. Of course I cannot move it because some parts are hard-coded. So let me for now leave it as is. 16 and merge. I will give it border, and also this will also have border, but later. So also I can move it to the middle. And what statistics do I need? Number of pages read. Number of pages read. Number of books started. And maybe number of books finished. Yes, I will remove this unnecessary part to have it shorter. So pages read is equal to sum of this column. Two pages, yes, it's good. Book started is equal to book started is the number of books that were started, so this range, the criterion is date. So but there is something wrong, so let me ask intelligence artificial how in Google Spreadsheet count number of cells in provided range that is a date. Okay, so higher than 0. Let's see if this will work. Yes, it works. And I will copy this and paste, but change C to D. Yes, so no book was finished, but to verify I will copy and paste once again and check. Yes, it works correctly, so I will revert. Yes, so basic statistics are implemented. Let me give the border, and this is done. So this is recorded one day later. I changed my mind about how to present the player section. So I moved this part to constant sheet, and in the main view I will present only the level, current level, which is equal to the following formula. So it gets the current experience, current points, and search in this table the proper current level. Same thing can be done with the level name, which is exactly the same thing as here, but just the column that is searched is different, as here. Next I need next level threshold, which is the following formula. Then I need some temporary variables. So first variable I need is the ratio between the current points divided by the next threshold. And the other part that I need is the 1 minus this value, and this is needed to compute the progress bar. So there is a additional spreadsheet formula, sparkline, that is able to write a chart as follows. And this is why I needed these two values. So it shows the current experience, which is 11 points, and the maximum is 80 points in this case. So for example, if I will increase this to 40 pages, then the progress bar increase. Now, so the last thing I need is to just present all of these things in a more nice way. Maybe I will increase this to have this progress bar show something. So I will use concatenate function that joins strings. So I would want to present first level, then the number of the level, then colon, and then the name of the level. Then I want to show this progress bar, and maybe I will move this to this place and remove that one. Right player section, merge it, put it in the middle, increase it slightly, maybe add, or maybe not. Let's have it the same way as here. Put it in some border. And this is only for computation purposes, so I will move it somewhere to the invisible place and move this section here. And we have almost here. So I think I can move this part here and remove all borders and once again join it. So now it clearly shows what is the experience or points level of the player, but actually I can move it here to have it more properly shown. This can be removed. And I think it looks much better right now. I can even make it a little better, a little higher, a little bigger, like this one. And maybe the maximal experience can also be moved left to the left side, and this should be bigger. And let's see, 0, 22, 22. Oh, there is a problem here, so I will increase this. Something like that. Maybe I will change it but in the future to something better. Actually, I can move this to this place and just add 0 here, make it slightly bigger, fix the cells once again, move this part to middle and make it slightly bigger. And now it looks much better. So the last thing that I added off the record, because it proved to be more complicated, is the following sheet that presents books that were finished. So I added 2 columns. One is with the URL of the book that was or is read, and other column which is a helper one that I will now hide from the view because it's not important to see it. I also added 3 constants, one constant for the width of the book and the other for the height of the book. So typically the format of the book is 6 divided by 9 times height. This is the height, and there is also default question mark, and there is a long complicated formula that computes the URL or the image that should be shown. So by default question mark is shown if the finish date is not filled, but if I will select finish date for these 2 books, then the book covers will be shown. So this is another gamification that is added to the whole game. The purpose of this sheet is just to show all of the covers, all of the 52 books. So there are 52 row and cells in this place. I will clear it. And I think for the version 1 of the game this is pretty good. I will just do some last corrections. So I will move this down and maybe add it as here. So also I will clear everything from the view. I will also correct this one so to have the same kind of formatting. And maybe as a last thing in this game and in this video, I will also add days left, because every day left, which is equal to the last day in the game minus today plus 1. So the game started yesterday and there are still 364 days left. So this is the end. Thanks for watching the video. If you find it interesting, please read the description below and consider subscribing. And see you in the future videos.